last night that screwed Jalen Brunson and screwed the Knicks. And the Rangers are red hot, man. So when Steve Cohen tweets out after the Super Bowl yesterday, yay, it's finally baseball season. No, it's not. You signed like 15 schmucks nobody's ever heard of. You got the Knicks that are playing well, the Rangers that are playing well, the Islanders that are playing well. You got the Stadium Series coming up, and the NFL is going to be king throughout the offseason. So give us a reason to pay attention to your loser baseball team, and maybe it will be baseball season. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Jesus, man, you turned out to be like angry this morning.
No, not angry at all.
I mean, it sounded like it.
I'm not angry. That just annoyed me because we've got, like, think about, like, right now.
Okay.
What's going on?
I know
we got
what's going
the
on.
aftermath of the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, we've got, obviously, the Knicks and the Rangers, as I mentioned. Big things happening as we go into late winter, into spring, with the teams that are around here and the hockey teams. And you got the Stadium Series. It was just like baseball season's finally here from the owner of the Mets that have done nothing this offseason. It's the quietest, most boring offseason in the world. It's not baseball season. It's just not. And don't give me pitchers and catchers or whatever. No. And then you got the GM coming out and saying they're not signing Alonso, which we knew already, but it's not baseball season. There's no reason to pay attention to you guys. Not a single reason at all to pay attention to the Mets. So I just thought that was foolish.
All
but no,
right.
it's not angry.
Okay,
not angry. Just a statement, just a quick statement. That's all.
And it is a snowy, kind of icy day, so it's a good way to start off with a negative thought. But
it's not negative at all. What's pot? See, you saw it as negative.
Well, because it was
positive
the last
for all the good things that are going on.
It was the last thing you said.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, my New York Rangers have won now 5 in a row.
That's what I said. That's why it's not baseball season.
But they have won 5 in a row, and I wouldn't say they're still not playing their best hockey, but they are winning. They're right there at the top of the league again, but their changes have to be made. So there has to be certain trades, much like the Knicks made trades. Now the Knicks trades, unfortunately, really haven't had a chance to take hold yet because they're not whole as a team. Jalen Brunson, you're right, he got screwed. Let's face it. And, he's still trying to play, through, I'm sure, somewhat of a sore ankle. So they've hit a little dip right here. But I do think that the hockey teams are all going to make the playoffs. I believe that if they're all healthy, it's going to be a pain-in-the-ass run to the finish this year. There's going to be a lot of physical hockey left to be played. And you're right, they do have the Stadium Series. And, quite frankly, I'm this Ranger fan. And I've been a Ranger fan since 1968. When the Garden opened, this present iteration of the Garden opened, and I've been going to Ranger games for as long as I can remember. And out of the blue, my daughter falls in love with an Islander.
Yeah.
And it creates all sorts of issues for me, because the Islanders owner is a very nice guy. And we both like John Ledecky, and he tries very hard. I guess they had a game over the weekend, and he's sending me pictures of my grandkids with Sparky and everything else. I'm like,
oh, was he? It was nice of him to think
very,
of.
very, very nice.
Think of you in that moment.
Because we're in the Rangers, we don't have a mascot. We don't have a Sparky.
Sure.
We don't have what do they call the devil guy? I'm not even sure what they call him. We don't have
Lucifer.
Gritty.
Lucifer is what they call him.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah, L-O-U and then C-I-F-E-R.
We like Ranger fans, we don't have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We have the team, we have the jersey, we have the original 6 history and all of that other stuff. So the Islanders, very kind, very good. They have been trying so hard. They've been trying so hard to get me to go to their games, and here's their Stadium Series jersey.
Oh, they sent you one. I got one as well. That's awesome.
They sent me a Stadium Series jersey.
See, I was going to wear mine tomorrow.
Look, you can wear it all you want.
Yeah.
But, it's a Sorokin jersey. It doesn't have my name on the back of it.
No, it doesn't.
And I want to say, it's a very nice thought. It's a very kind thought.
Yeah.
But I'm not rooting for you, so forget it.
Well,
it doesn't happen. I'm rooting for my son-in-law to do well. I will say that. I will admit that. Because I want his kids to be happy.
Yeah.
And I want them to buy into the whole thing because it's a great sport. It's a great environment to be around. And I think that Winnie is starting really to understand that. But, I'm sorry.
I'll give that to an Islander fan.
No.
I'll give it to an Islander fan.
I'll decide who to give it to.
I got
I'll decide. I would give it to you, but
we're going to give it to Pete right now. It'd be so nice.
I'm not giving it to Pete.
Why not? Pete Bellotti.
No, I'm not giving it to Pete Bellotti.
Why not? He's a huge Islander fan.
But what has he done for me?
What can he do for you?
I don't know. There's Mike Fliegelman does a lot of stuff for me.
That's true. He is an Islander fan.
And he is an Islander fan.
That's a good one. So
I may give it to him. I'm not sure. I'll see. I may just throw it in the garbage. I'm not really sure.
This is why I wanted to get it from you, because I knew that was an option, and that's why I said I'll give it to an Islander fan, because I don't trust. I mean, you might just go out in Hudson Street and light it on fire.
Yeah, listen, I'm not trying to be a douche or any of that stuff. Again, Mr. Ledecky's great. I love the fact that he's sending me pictures, trying to drag me in. Hey, come over to UBS, be my guest. I'm like, for what?
Rangers send you one of those jerseys?
No, they have not.
Okay.
No. I mean, but listen, I give the Rangers my money.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
So they're not going to give me a jersey. And I'm not looking for one either, by the way. But I'm just
be nice. Occasionally they send you something.
Listen, they don't have to. They don't have to send me anything.
Okay.
You know why? Because they have a gazillion fans.
No, because they already got you by the balls. That's why.
What's that?
They already got you by the balls. That's why they don't send you anything.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So I mean, it is very tempting.
Big blue hand.
Because I have a feeling that if I were an Islander fan, man, we'd have carte blanche over there at UBS.
Yeah, I guess at some point, and I'm not denying that we did this, but at some point we told Peter Schwartz that the Stadium Series tickets would be a thing that we would get him if he was covered in fluff. So he's been bugging me for that now, and I gotta come through on that whole thing. So, Mr. Ledecky, if you're listening, we've got to get the Schwartzes into MetLife Stadium somehow, some way. Man, I was looking at because I don't like doing the bothering people for stuff thing. I really don't. And I was looking on just to buy like the verified resale tickets for the Stadium Series of Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
I was like, I figured just throw the Schwartzes up on the top, right? Just, there's like $300 to sit all the way up at the top for the Stadium Series. That's good enough for them,
the
right?
higher you sit, the better you see the game. No, that's the way you got to look at it.
I guess. But then there's like, $700-800 a ticket to sit closer. Damn.
It's a little much.
It's a little much. I mean, this is nuts.
Now, is that just for one game, or do you get both games?
No. It's just the Islander-Ranger game.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't gotten anything from the NHL either promoting any of this. So we're kind of doing this on our own, and because the Islanders sent us these lacrosse jerseys. So
Hey.
What?
Hey. Be careful.
The NHL keeps reaching out to me, and they'll say, would you like any Rangers, Devils, or Islanders players? So I always respond, I go, who you got from the Rangers? And then they write back, how about someone from the Islanders or Devils? I go, no.
Wow.
The Rangers not very good that way. They just...
But they're offering Rangers first. Then when I say Rangers...
They don't need promotion. That's the thing. They don't need it. They sell out the Garden. The Garden was rocking last night. They got a shutout win by Shesterkin, his first shutout of the year. And I personally don't think that they're even really remotely playing their best.
Yeah.
But they're still winning, and that's good. And, I mean, this is...
Could this be one of those things where they say they offer a Rangers player, and then they're like, what Rangers do you have? And then they reach out to Rangers staff and say, hey, the WFAN wants to put on a Ranger, and they go, we don't put Rangers on WFAN.
I mean, honestly, as much as I like all these guys, they are boring as hell.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they are basically cardboard cutouts of each other. You know that.
Well, how many hockey players, period, have a great personalities for the radio?
I know one personally. I mean, he's a great guy, but I mean, what's he going to say?
Who, Matt?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's boring as hell, too.
I'm saying he's a great guy, though.
All those guys, like Cal Clutterbuck, amazing guy away from a microphone. Hilarious, right?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Put a microphone in front of him.
No, you hear it's just
like he's a hostage.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It bores the hell out of you.
Name, rank, and serial number, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, got to work hard, got to get pucks to the net, got to get physical, got to get those pucks out of the corner.
Is that this weekend?
Thanks, appreciate it.
Is that this weekend?
That's it.
Is that this weekend coming up?
No.
When is it?
Just Google it.
The actual. It's like February.
I think it's this weekend.
No, it's not.
You sure? I'm telling you, man, this is sneaking up on me. These games. Because I kept schluffing off Schwartz with this, and now I got to...
Schluffing off Schwartz.
Stadium Series. When is the Stadium Series?
Here it is right here. It is the 18th.
Yeah. Which is what? This weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah.
A Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Wow.
And that's the Islander Ranger one.
That's is Sunday on ABC, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Damn. See? Stuff that was spend 9 days in Vegas. You come back, it's almost March. The hell?
Yeah, but we had a good time.
No, I know we did. I'm just saying, it's just like you forget when you get back. You're like, whoa.
We spent a lot of time out there.
When do pitchers and catchers report?
Oh, my God. I can't.
Do you have any idea?
It just drives me nuts. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
You think we're going to be talking a lot about Juan Soto this year?
Yeah, no, I think so. But let's get there. Opening day is a thing. We love opening day. That is fun. The season starts. Pitchers and catchers reporting means nothing, okay? And I think the reason why...
I like when pitchers and catchers report.
Stop. You're just doing that to be an instigator.
No, I'm not.
No,
I know you hate it, but I like it.
No, I don't hate the fact that they're reporting. I just hate the fact that people make a big deal out of it because nothing happens.
You got to remember, I had a 20-year head start on you. So, I have more like, history associated with my sports fandom. So pitchers and catchers were always important to me.
You are so full of it, I can't even take you seriously. The reporting of the pitchers and catchers is a big moment in your
pitchers
year.
and catchers reporting.
Oh,
remember last
awesome.
year when Verlander and Scherzer reported?
Oh, it's
Do you
great.
remember that picture when they were walking into the Mets facility there?
That was one of my favorite reports of all time, really,
Right.
if you think about it. How excited we were for their reporting. But anyway, how about CBS, huh?
We killed it, man. It absolutely, obviously the game, but, Paramount, like I told you, put so much effort into it, every aspect of it. So over 120 million people on CBS. And then when you take a look at all the other areas like Nickelodeon, and then you have Paramount Plus, and you have
Nickelodeon,
right? And you have all these other different aspects of, the number is just staggering. More than 200 million viewers, 200.2, watched all or part of the Super Bowl across the networks with the highest unduplicated total audience in history and up 10% from last year's Super Bowl. So, look, I think there's a Taylor Swift effect. I think there's a Patrick Mahomes kind of Tom Brady-esque effect.
Well, close game at the end that goes into overtime, too, as it helps no matter what.
I was thinking 10 o'clock Eastern time, the thing had a spike. It had a spike because, people talking to each other, texting each other, following on social media and things of that nature.
Yeah.
An unbelievable game, an unbelievable situation. And really the discussion about the whole game really has come down to Kyle Shanahan not deferring in overtime, which is the first thing that I asked when we went on in the post game.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea why you would defer. I still try to figure out, and I appreciate him being honest and talking about it, but I also understand a lot of his players didn't even understand the rules.
Which is a problem. That falls at the feet of the head coach,
That looks
of course.
bad. That looks bad.
And also Andy Reid, if you heard some of the reaction that Jerry was playing yesterday, how they had practiced certain situations and everybody knew what was going on. So, yeah, I mean, it's a totally, and that was one of the advantages going into the game that we talked about was coaching. Not that Kyle Shanahan's a boob by any stretch of the imagination, but when you go up against the grizzled best coach that's still coaching since Belichick has not had a job this year. I mean, when you're going up against Andy Reid, who now has his third Super Bowl, there's an advantage there for Andy Reid.
Yeah, I mean, if you go over it in your mind 1,000 times, and I really don't care what the other analytics people may say, you have to take into account the way the game's being played and who's playing it. This wasn't Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos you were playing. This was Patrick Mahomes, who has been playing brilliantly and had a brilliant second half.
Yeah.
And, when you think about where they were at the 2-minute warning in this game, you figure that San Francisco was going to win the game. And then all of a sudden, Steve Spagnuolo deals up a couple blitzes, a couple key tackles. They have to settle for a field goal. And remember, they missed the extra point. So now, by missing that extra point, all Kansas City needs is that field goal to tie the game.
Absolutely.
If that were a 4-point lead, it could have been a whole different set of circumstances, and it would have been up to the 49er defense to keep the Chiefs, who would have gone four downs to try to get a touchdown and keep them out of the end zone, and they could have won it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was it was just as tense as could possibly be there towards the end, and that's when guys like Patrick Mahomes shine the most. And I really do believe just watching him and seeing him in person, like there's just certain guys that in those moments, they're just better. They're better when the heat is turned up. And he finds something, like you can't manufacture that situation unless you are in it. And then it's just like he has that switch where he just locks in like he's not losing the game. Now, I know he's lost the Super Bowl in the past, but this particular
he was
postseason.
Right. Like, he took off running for a couple times because he knew he had to get a first down.
And it's just this particular postseason, it was as if, okay, game tighter, certain situations are happening, adversity, whatever. Let me just find out where I need to go to win the game. I'll find it. Don't worry about it. I'll be good. I'll find it. I'll throw the winning touchdown pass. I'll run 16 yards here. I'll find it. Don't worry about it. And it's got to be amazing to be a part of that. And that's when I see, it's a team game. I understand. Great coach, Andy Reid, great players. But when I see everybody around the Chiefs and Clark Hunt talking about, their third Super Bowl championship and everything, it truly is thanks to one guy.
Well, no, I don't know about that. I mean, when you think about
more than the others.
Yes, of course. That's why it's a quarterback-driven league. And, I also thought that, the regular season for them is a slog because they, as Travis Kelce would put it, they get everybody's best shot. They got the target on their back. They are the two-time repeat champions. They want to go for 3. They want that three-peat moniker, of course. And, every team is going to come after them, and every team is going to try to knock them off their pedestal. So every game is going to be a slog. Now, I think that Rashee Rice is going to be a big difference next year. He started to come on in the second half of the season. They'll draft probably another wide receiver if they don't sign one in free agency. They got a big question about Chris Jones because he's one of the better defensive ends in football, and he is a monster. He's going into his free agent year. Remember, he held out this year and missed the first game of the season because he wanted that new contract, and they didn't give it to him. So there's something there between him and the club because that contract would have been a massive contract had they truly believed in him. Like, I think they're afraid to give him like $100 million guaranteed or $60 million guaranteed because they don't know about, I think they don't know about the effort after that. I know he's one of the most important players in their team, and they would never, ever come out and ever say anything about that. But there's no question when he wants to play and he puts the effort in, he's a pain in the ass to deal with. He's that good. The question is, are you going to get that for 17 games? And that's the other thing. 17-game season is a long, long season. And I think that's why the Chiefs season was dipping. It went up, down, up, down, up, down, lose to Buffalo, lose to this team, lose to the Raiders. I mean, you say so, how does this team lose to any of those teams? Well, this season, you miss guys for a couple of weeks. I don't know. It's a slog for everybody. But, man, I also thought kind of like Patrick Mahomes is a little bit bored in the middle of the season. And they put him out there with a bunch of wide receivers nobody ever heard of, except for Valdez-Scantling and, of course, when they traded for McCole Hardman, who couldn't figure it out here with the Jets.
That is right.
Remember, McCole also fumbled in that Buffalo game out of the end zone.
He did.
Which kept that game close.
Yeah, absolutely. But Super Bowl champions once again as the trophies just mount there in Kansas City.